Well, he's a cold-hearted snake. You can look into his eyes. Girl, he's been telling lies. I'm sure hoping Paula Abdul would hop out here with her sexy self and start singing with me. That didn't happen, so now it's just awkward. The county should not have to warn you about some things. You should know better. I appreciate you hitting subscribe, like. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you for all you do to make the @BudFord comedy page roll and the channel move as well. Thank you. Also on the show today, do we still need music? Musicians, singers, songwriters? You may be surprised. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Right now, it's funny to me how we get mad at animals for doing exactly what their job description says. For instance, we get mad at lions for doing lion stuff, right? Bears do bear things. People go into their habitat and they do the things they do. This rattlesnake story that's coming out of Cali right now. 7 people already this year have been bitten. 7. This is not a snake problem. This is a human problem, and we should probably get together and have a meeting about it because rattlesnakes are not sneaky. This is not a game to them. They don't even try to hide it. Like, they show up with a built-in warning system. They brought maracas to the crime scene, man. They're not trying to be subtle. That is the snake going, all right, listen, I'd prefer not to bite you, but I will if you don't get to stepping, stupid. Not us. We're all like,
I wonder what he means by that. Sounds pretty. Maybe he's making music and he's happy.
Then we get shocked every time. Another hiker bitten in the woods today in California. What did you expect? You went hiking in rattlesnake country in rattlesnake season. Were you hoping they'd put up a Starbucks to welcome you? No. You went in there and you got bit because you tempted fate one too many times. So I don't get in the ocean as much as I used to when I was a kid. Eventually, your luck will run out. At what number do we stop blaming the snake? Feels like a pattern, right? It's not really random. That's us repeatedly going, you know what? I bet this time I'll be fine. Again, like I said about sharks, every summer we hear shark attacks spike. No, people in the ocean spike. That's the difference. You didn't get attacked. You got introduced. You showed up to their home, kicked off your shoes, and started splashing around in their living room. And now you're mad because the homeowner bit back. We are some entitled folks up in this world, ain't we? We sure are. We do dumb things like walk out into the desert and like, you know what? I own this place. This is my place. Meanwhile, every animal out there is like, oh, the loud, slow one's back. I'll tell you what, though, I ain't lying. I'm guilty. So I work around the airfield. There's a lot of folks around here that have access to helicopters, and they know how to fly them and whatever. And they're like, hey, we'll take you up, put you wherever you want to do, because I'm a photographer. People don't like to take pictures. So they're like, hey, whatever you want to do. I'm like, okay. So one afternoon, I'm flying on a plane, and I was like, oh, I know exactly what I want to do. So I went back and talked to one of my pilot friends who happened to be sitting with a whole bunch of other helicopter pilot people because they hang out together like a gaggle of helicopter pilots. I don't know if that's officially what you call them, but that's what I will call them. So I said, hey, I have an idea. I want to take my camera equipment. I want y'all to fly me to the top of one of those mountains in the Superstition mountain chain over there, and then set me down. Let me take pictures for a couple hours sort of back at the city versus the other way, which is the way we always get it. And they were like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Why? You said we could go anywhere. That's the purpose of having a helicopter. I have a plane, I'll need 700 to 1,000 feet minimum for a good takeoff. You should be able to do your thing, man. They're like, no, no, no. We fly over those mountains all the time, and there's coyotes up there. You can see them. How did they get up there? Is there an elevator for coyotes? I don't understand all that because I've never seen them up there, but I'm sure they're right because I know my helicopter friends would not lie to me. And now it's funny because when I'm looking, I'll have binoculars or whatever. I'll be looking for, like, is there anything up there? They're probably just saving me from myself. It's funny, too. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. The things they tell you to do if you get bitten by a rattlesnake. Now, if you run into a bear or whatever, I think you're supposed to be bigger than the bear, right? You're supposed to be like, rawr, and the bear stands up and it's like, 13 feet tall with acre-sized paws, but you're supposed to intimidate it at 5'8" with a size 9 shoe. Whatever. There's protocol. If you're going to be in bear country, you got to know what to do. If you're going to be in coyote country, you got to know what to do. Now, with the snakes, if you get bitten, it kind of gets comical. Because the first part is stay calm, which may have seemed helpful when they were writing it, but nobody stays calm when their ankle just got tagged by Morocco with teeth. Next, move away from the snake. Oh, now you tell me. That feels like it should have been step 1. Someone should reevaluate the manual. It's like telling somebody after a car accident, yo, you might want to watch out for that car. Thanks. I see it. Like a buddy of mine, they were on a field trip at the college he went to. They were the basketball team, right? So they're on this trip and they had to turn the bus around because you may or may not know this. Oftentimes with colleges, they don't hire professional bus drivers. A lot of times, if it's a small college, the coach is driving the bus because usually they're not the full-size buses because they're smaller schools. So they had to go down this, they went down this road and they had to turn around, which is never a good time. 3-point turns turn into 78-point turns in buses. And he said that the team was out, helping with the, come on backs, follow me, come on, straighten her up, all of those things that you have to do when you're backing up a truck. And apparently it was middle of the night and he was like, come on back. Come on back. Come on back. Next thing you hear is crash. Next thing you hear from my boy is, my bad. Next thing it says, don't attempt to suck out the venom. Who messed that up? Because that was the go-to jam my whole life. They were like, if someone you know gets bit by a rattlesnake, well, you should just jump on in there and get it out. My mind, I was always like, yeah. Or they might not make it. I'm not sure which. We're going to have to decide when we get there. But my guess is they're not going to make it. They were good people. I'm going to call 911 for them, do everything I can. I don't know how my relationship's going to go with them after this point. It's not going there. Not happening. But what happened, because used to, that's what they told us. Then they're all like, keep the bite below your heart. Now, this is a problem because now I have geometrics to be figured in with high school anatomy. I want to make sure that if I got bit on the thigh, where my thigh has to go to get above my heart, because what I don't want to do is be laying here dead at the incorrect angle, and then they'll just think I was too stupid to know what I was supposed to do. Even after there's been countless podcasts on it, you'd think. Then they go on to say, you should call 911 immediately. That may be the first thing on this list that makes any sense. But when you make that call, that's going to be the most honest you've ever been on a phone in your life. Hi, 911, what's your emergency? Yeah, hi, I messed around and found out. We'll send someone right over. Here's where it gets me, though. They said this year we're at 3 fatalities. Most years we're at 0, sometimes 1. Which means statistically the rattlesnakes are showing a heck of a lot of restraint. I think the snakes are being kind to us. Because if you step on me in my house, I'm not issuing the warning that they do. You're just going to get bit. No rattle, no nothing. You just got. We're the ones that are doing the escalating here. We hear the warning, and instead of leaving, we're like, hey, did he say something cool? Like it's a podcast clip. Hikers, God bless them. They always act surprised. They say the same thing. It was like an ambush. It came out from nowhere. Sir, you are in nowhere. That's where you are. You went to their house. We treat nature like it's a theme park. Like it ought to have a rail. And then we're always surprised when there's no safety railing. The railing is the rattle. And I know what's happening. People are out here going, you know what? If I just get a little closer look, this photo probably gets 500 more shares. That's a mistake. You know what I've learned in life? I've been around a minute. You might can learn something. Listen close to what I'm telling you. Nobody ever gets bitten from too far away. It just don't happen. My mother taught me that. She was smart like that. Every time you think, yeah, I just want to see a little closer, maybe the snake's thinking the same thing. Maybe the snake's trying to get a selfie. Next thing you know, you got a collision. Now you're getting shares for all the wrong reasons. When you hear the maracas play, that's not lean in time, that's exit music. That's the universe going, hey, this scene's over for you. Get lost, stupid. Because the snakes don't chase you. They don't go out hunting hikers or runners. They're just sitting there going, oh, if you leave right now, we're both going to have a great day. But we don't leave. It's not what we do. We step in closer. We whip out a cell phone. Some of us start a video. We're like, hey, guys, look at this. And again, you start trending for the wrong things. 7 bites already this year. 3 people dead. That's a lot. The snakes are showing incredible restraint. Because if I had to deal with us all day, I'd be rattling my dang self. Wouldn't you? Hey, another thing. Let's look at the title of this article again. Pay attention to what it says. It says, a county-wide warning had to be issued for snake bites. Now, hold on. There are some things in life that the county should not have to warn you about. I feel like we as humans have failed the test. Like, imagine being in that meeting. All right, everybody, let me tell you what we're going to do. We got to put out a notice about no selfies with snakes in the wild. You know, at the zoo behind the glass, that's fine. But, you know, in the wild, it's discouraged. Somebody else in the meeting goes, we need to put something out for that? Yes, because people have slid so far down the rock, we are now multi-generationally stupid. We continue to make the same mistakes. Next week, we've got to put out one that says, hey, by the way, fire's hot. Be careful if you see a volcano. You ain't got to worry about your boy Bud Ford. Either that kind of mess goes down. If I hear a rattle, I'm not investigating. I am relocating. Those are different. Elbows, that's what you see out of me. Put up a sign that says, please don't pet the bison. I don't look at a 2,000-pound animal with anger issues and think, you know what, let me just connect with that. Let us see if we can have a moment. Do not approach the edge for a better photo. Let me tell you something. If I can fall off of it, I'm not near it. I do not attempt to feed the wildlife either. I saw this cat at the Grand Canyon. He was holding these nuts and these little squirrels was around. They might have been chipmunks. I don't know. My parents, we never could afford one of them see and say the farmer says things. So some animals, I don't know. I don't know the difference between chipmunks and squirrels, the finer details. I mean, I don't know. So I'm not trying to tell you I do. That's hard stuff for me to try to remember. But I am going to tell you that every sign around there says don't feed the squirrels. Maybe it said chipmunks. I don't know. But don't feed nothing. Handful of nuts, handing them to the squirrels. Here you go, little cutie. Now there's, 38 of them around all of a sudden. Here you go, little cutie. Next thing I know, well, all the cuties thought all them nuts were coming a little slow. The factory wasn't working fast enough. That kid left, had bites all over his hand, running to his mama, bleeding. And I was like, bruh, the sign says stay away, fools. That's why I don't feed wildlife. Feed it what? Yourself? Because that's what always ends up happening. Sign says in Tennessee all over the place, do not leave your car in a bear sighting. Leave my car nothing. I'm not leaving my house where bears go. Bears don't come to my trailer for a reason. Usually because it's too hot and we ain't got that much to eat. I get it. But still, it don't matter the reason. The fact is they don't come here and I don't go where they are either. I'd like to believe it's because I'm smarter than that. And it's because we keep doing stupid stuff. We got to keep putting signs up, right? You know how it is. You hear the rattle. You're all like, I need a much closer look. That's confidence I don't have. So the county's gonna have to keep jumping all in, like,
Listen, I want you to avoid danger. Let's be careful. We'll stop touching things.
we've reached that point, as you figured out, where we got to put a press release out for common sense. My survival strategy is pretty simple. If I look at it, it looks like it's going to kill me, I assume it will. Snakes? Nope. Sharks? Nope. Cliffs? I look at the pictures, they're great. I love brochures. I don't need a county alert. My alert system? Good old-fashioned anxiety. That's why I'm still here. There are people who see danger and step back, and there's people who see danger and go, you know what? I probably should get a better angle on this. And those people are ruining it for everyone else. Because now the county has to issue alerts like, hey, quick update, the desert's still the desert. We should need that. At some point, snakes are going to be sitting around like, are we the problem or are they just stupid? And I think that's a fair question for snakes, and I think it gives us something to ponder. So we'll just keep being us, and we know how it ends. So I've been messing around with this app called Suno. I don't know if you know anything about this app, but basically what I realized today is that music is in trouble. Like, not industry shakeup, not like, oh no, Scooter owns my masters. None of that. I'm talking about real trouble, like existential problems. Because with this app, you can do pretty much anything you want. Let's say, and I've done this so I know, let's say I say, hey, give me a country song that has a guy named Bud who makes a bad decision at the Waffle House. Oh, and it'll ask you what type of song you want. Country, modern country, and so you can define the sound that you want. When you get it back, it makes a full song in about 45 seconds. It's a verse, it's a chorus, and regret. It's hillbilly music at its finest. This thing can create some incredible stuff. I'm not here pimping the app. I don't care if you buy the app. I don't care about the app. I didn't buy it. I just wanted to check it out. A buddy of mine's got it because he does a lot of things on TikTok, and it was absolutely amazing. You can basically go, give me a country song about blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, you're like, sounds like modern music, and then you're in the middle and the hook's going blah, 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 and you're like, what just happened? It's uncanny, and it's good enough to make you go, wait a minute. I will never know who's singing again. That's problematic. Used to, you had to learn an instrument, usually during those odd years, you know, when you got one tooth longer than the other, those times. You had to feel things to write things. Now you just need Wi-Fi and a weird idea. If I can create exactly what I want to hear, then why do I need anything else? I don't. And that's a dangerous question. Basically, it's like creating Netflix for your imagination. That rules out any need for radio. Any other music source is pretty much in trouble. And I've watched this happen over the last probably year, 2 years, and I realize, wow, we don't know anymore the origin of the song, and that is scary. We don't know if there's actually musicians involved. We don't know any of that. When Old Town Road got as big as it did, knowing how it was created, that was the end of modern music, I think, and no one really realizes it. Because friends of mine who play music will tell you now, on the internet, if it's posted, you don't know if that person sung it. I can sit here in front of a fake keyboard and make you think I'm Elton John with enough weird AI effects and things. Maybe not. Maybe I won't look like Elton John, but you get my point. We can create a lot of things. And now there are apps where you put your voice, you read a couple of sentences. Next thing you know, you're singing, which is like I was talking about the other day in the country music industry. There's benefits to that because to turn a demo in sometimes can be expensive to get one produced if you live in a part of the country where you're not readily surrounded by musicians and recording equipment and the like. You know, if you're in an area that has a very small band scene and not many clubs and not a lot of musicians around, you might have to track to a big city, make sure you're feeling good that day, make sure you don't have any sinus issues. There's a lot goes into recording. Or you can record a couple of sentences, let it record your voice, and then it will deliver you a product that on some levels with some of these apps is completely editable. So if you're like, I really love the drums here, but I don't like, next thing you know, you become a creator. It's right there for you to do. It does create an interesting opportunity because people are uploading millions of songs, these AI songs, and it's gaming the system. It's actual fraud. They say these apps are pumping out millions of songs a day. That's not music anymore, it's more like the weather. Most of these streams on these songs are fake. They're bots. So now we have robots making music for other robots to listen to so humans can get paid. Well, of course. I had that on my bingo card for 2026 anyway. I appreciate your likes, your comments, your shares, and subscribing to the channel. And that's not really the music industry. That's more like a robot pyramid scheme. And the platforms can't even keep up. They're tagging tens of thousands of AI songs a day and still missing most of them. So if you put that in perspective, it means right this very minute, there's a song that nobody wrote being played by nobody making money. Meanwhile, real musicians are like, yo, I've spent the better part of 30 years getting good at my guitar. And then here comes another dude who types in, make it sad, but about snacks. Boom. Next thing you know, he has a hit, a career. I love the AI stuff. It's a lot of fun. I like to play things and build things. I built one the other day that I swear could have been a hit in early 2000s. It would have sounded great on the radio. I was like, do this instrumentation. I did some editing. It was cool. It's real power because I didn't have to write it. I typed a couple sentences and there you go. But it's also cheating. It's like one of those PhDs that you can get in 10 months or whatever with no dissertation and blah, blah, and all the things you don't have to do. You call it what you want, but isn't it cheating? Maybe not to you, but it smells that way to me, and this is the same way. The problem is the laws aren't caught up with this. We don't know quite what to do with it. Because music is, one, supposed to be about a connection, a shared experience, real life happening to all of us. Now, again, like I said, it's one sentence, so it's really customized background noise. You don't discover songs anymore, you generate them, which is kind of like if you had an app on your phone and you could just go, okay, here's the perfect girl for me, you know, like the movie Weird Science, which is still technically cheating, but now that I've said it out loud, there's probably someone who's already working on it. Probably in a trailer next door. And like I said, the law isn't ready for this, doesn't know what to do because AI can copy your sound. That's not real copyright. We don't have laws for that yet. I'm in SAG-AFTRA. It's all a moving target right this very minute. So now your voice is basically a suggestion. The fact that I do this podcast right here, I can be singing on 300 records tomorrow, and amazingly, I would be on key, which you would have to know required AI. There are actually, right this minute, artists finding songs online with their voice that they never sang. It's not really a remix. It's more like identity theft with a beat. It's going to become problematic and it's going to wind up in court somewhere. I don't know how we stop it because the toothpaste rarely goes back in the tube. So now, like I said, everyone's scrambling. Do we stop it? Do we label it? Do we just let it ride? If you're looking for me, I'm going to be over here making a song about a rattlesnake with emotional trauma. It's a banger, it's going to slap, and you're probably going to want to buy it. It's not for sale. Music the way we're used to it might not be gone, but it's definitely different now. Because we didn't just change how music is made, we changed who it's for. Right now, we're making music for robots, which is clear. It's a $5.4 billion fraud. This is the first time in recorded history where music isn't trying to reach us, we're trying to keep up with it. Thanks for your time today. My name is Bud like the beer, Ford like the truck. I'm at Bud Ford Comedy. I appreciate you liking, subscribing. Anything you do that makes you a part of the channel is welcome. Thank you.